Yo! Happy New Year, guys. No doubt it's been quite a tough one for Australia, so sending you all a lot of love and support and good vibes. I wanted to kick off the year a little differently by giving you guys a little bit of insight into the creative process of how I go about making my songs in the studio. And I wanted to introduce you to my first single that I'll be releasing for 2020. It's called Castles in the Sky. And I suppose I chose this song out of the bunch because I felt like releasing something a little feel good just to balance things out a little bit. And it's funny because Castles in the Sky, for those of you who've come to my gigs, you would have heard it. It's the first song that I always play. But it was a song that I didn't really intend on recording. And it was one of those situations where, as a writer, you often gravitate towards the songs that you've most recently written because they give you that little bit of a rush, because it's something new. And Castles in the Sky, I must have written about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was at a time where I wasn't really, I didn't really believe that I could get back into music again. And it was when I played a batch of songs, when I had to sort of go, all right, well, what am I going to do for the album? What do I want to record this year? A few of my friends just said, you should definitely record Castles in the Sky. And I know it gets a lot of love on stage as well. So I took the time to sort of reconnect with it, and now I've fallen back in love with it again. And a little bit of backstory with Castles in the Sky. It was written at a time when I was wrestling, and I still do wrestle with the part of myself that gets impatient, that wants the results like straight away. And I have this drive, but creativity often gets choked because the drive comes with this urgency, the clock's ticking, let's just make it happen straight away. And total disrespect towards the power of taking your time and putting in the work and respecting the growth process to grow something that does last a long time. And that's true not even from a creative point of view, a career point of view, and also just everyday life. And that's essentially what Castles in the Sky is about. And it is a reminder for me when I do go out on the road, or I'm going through a phase in my life where things just don't seem to be going right, or I'm overtired, overwhelmed, whatever it is. It's just, this song reminds me, hey, just it's about the long term here. Respect the process and just keep pushing on. So I'm gonna play it in its rawest form, and it's real raw. I mean, normally I play it with my mate Kenny, and we've got a stomp and the whole thing. So this is just literally me playing you the song, and then after it, I'm gonna explain to you what visions I have, like how I imagined it to sound, because over the next 3 or 4 weeks while I'm working in the studio, I'm going to be vlogging on YouTube to just show you and update you on how it's all coming about. So just find some headphones. Oh, wow, I found them. Like I said, it's going to be raw. He lights up from limousines and chaperones, heart shut, starry-eyed for the front row. Her last drum, teary-eyed as she remembers how it used to be. Choked up, musters up the courage to say, I water my acorns with dirt on my hand, wind in in my eyes. Go build your castle in the sky. Yeah. School's out, a summer calls, selling tickets at the roller door. Drum skins on oil stains, neighborhood measure of their fame. Fresh face, grass green, but green kept them playing like they were living a dream. Sweat dripping, moving earth, great balls of fire, now everybody hurts. I water my acorns with dirt on my hand, wind in my eyes. Go build your castle in the sky. Go build your castle in the sky. Numbness, pain, a cold sweat, a sudden shame. Wide awake, alone in bed, a broken voice echoes around his head. I water my acorns with dirt on my hand, wind in my eyes. Go build your castle in the sky. Go build your castle in the sky. Go build your castle in the sky. Yeah. Man, that crowd is loud. Yeah, so that's Castles in the Sky in its rawest form. I like to try and this has been the case for the last, 5 or so years. I mainly write my songs just, in this form, like it's guitar and voice, or maybe a piano. I don't really have much of a setup at home, and I like it that way because if I get into the studio too early before the song is finished, I get a little distracted by all the production and the different sounds and stuff like that. So in my head, it's like if the song stands alone in this situation, then it's got a good chance of translating. So as far as my creative vision, and as I said earlier, to me, this is one of the most exciting parts of the process because it goes from this, and then all of a sudden you're talking drums and you're talking bass. It's like, what colors can I add to bring this song to life? For it to create the feeling that I desire. So I like to work backwards from a feeling. So before I even think of, like, sometimes a drum idea or a particular sound comes to mind, but just in general, when I'm mapping it out, I like to think, all right, how do I want it to feel? Do I want it to be up? Do I want it to be down? Do I want it to be nostalgic? I know pretty much most things I do, it's going to be sort of that vintage modern. I like tipping the hat to all the old school flavors that I grew up on, but whilst bringing it into the present as well. So where was I? I just had a mental blank. My mind is playing jazz. So working backwards from the feeling, given the song is about a parting of ways, where one person is going one way and the other person is going the other. One wants to, wants the quick fix and wants all the bright, shiny lights and stuff like that and doesn't care how to go about it. And the other one wants to build something that lasts forever. So in order for her to do that, she has to let go of all these amazing experiences in order to move on to new things. So it's almost a bit mourning. There's a bit of mourning in it and nostalgia, but it is also an optimistic, a song of optimism and as well. So the melody and the chords, I want it to sort of imply nostalgia and a little bit of sadness, but the beat and the groove and everything should feel like a vibe. So in my head, I'm thinking like really simple drums, like boom, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap, and really crusty and a bit hybrid as well. I don't want it to sound just like it's just a dude in a room. I want it to just have some sort of extra sample, some extra samples going on, but very, very simple, a little bit loopified. This guitar, this part here, I reckon, like on stage, I use a phaser pedal, and which I think works brilliantly. So I'll be doing that in the recording as well. And Kenny uses an acoustic, which really works because the beat that I'm imagining doesn't really have a hi-hat. So it's like the percussive nature of the acoustic will be replacing the hi-hat. And bass, definitely old school flat wound pick Hofner type vibe or a P bass. I still got to try and work out how to create that sound, but I've got it in my head. It's about how to do it. And vocals, normally I kind of, like if you listen to my EP, most of the vocal sounds on there are quite dead and in your face. I actually imagine this one to be a lot more verby and roomy and a bit distorted. Yeah, so those are just some flavors that are going around in my head that I imagine will help to create the feeling that I desire. We'll see. It doesn't always go to plan. But yeah, so that's Castles in the Sky. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really excited about releasing it. It should be out in about 4 or 5 weeks' time. So if you want to be a part of the creative process, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, Nathan Cavalieri. Hang on, what is it? YouTube.com, Nathan Cavalieri Music. And I'll be putting some little plugs on social media as well. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, but thanks for tuning in and have an awesome Monday.